If you're like me, you occasionally purchase stuff on Amazon, and if you don't live in the middle of nowhere, you can usually count on it arriving within a couple days. As a model railroader, however, I feel there's a few things on Amazon that are really just worth purchasing, not because they're affordable, but just quite frankly, they're easier to find on Amazon than anywhere else. But that said, there's also a few things on Amazon you should never buy. Now, if you're not familiar with my channel, my name is Andrew, and I run a small business building and selling model railroads. Over the last 10 years, I've built nearly 70 custom model railroads and sold benchwork for nearly 1,000 more. In that time, I've built relationships with some great people. I've learned a lot and occasionally made some mistakes. But, in the midst of all that, I built a lot of really cool model railroads in the process. So, what should you definitely buy on Amazon? With the demise of Radio Shack retail stores a few years back, there's really no good place to buy soldering tools locally. Fortunately, Amazon has you covered. Now, I'm not going to point out every item I think you should have, as that's what my Amazon store is for, link below. But I did want to point out two specifically, as they're worth the small investment and will be useful for a lot of layout projects. This Weller 40-watt soldering station, for example, is only $33, and unlike other options, it allows you to service or replace every part. It's also easily upgradable, which you can see in a video I've made up here. Another cool tool that's really not available offline is this 150-watt soldering pot made by Avian. Now, if you're wiring a larger layout, this is a huge time saver as you can tin a lot of wire all at the same time and you can do it one-handed. This means you can pre-tin all of your wire feeders in seconds versus spending over an hour doing 20 or 30 of them. The second thing you should definitely buy on Amazon is books. While you might not initially consider it, Amazon is a great place to find out-of-date and not currently in print books. John Allen and Lynn Westcott titles, for example, are pretty easy to find. As wild as it may seem, I've actually found titles dating back as far as 1941. These resources can be invaluable when researching specific railroads, modeling techniques, or just looking for that next great idea without spending hours at a train show only to leave empty-handed. Now, I have to warn you that in a lot of cases, these books and magazines are affordable, but if it's particularly rare or overwhelmingly popular, like Dean Freitag's The History of Making and Modeling of Steel, it's important to not only look at the new price, but the price of purchasing a used copy, as the prices can be wildly different. While it's more available now than it was a year or two back, Cork roadbed is one of those items you both need and hate to buy. In particular, if you're building a large yard, the cost of cork can add up really quickly. Fortunately, however, cork is one of those items on Amazon which the more you buy, the more you save. This 4-foot by 25-foot roll of cork, for example, is only $77, and these little 4-inch squares with self-adhesive backing, cool idea by the way, is only $19 for 100 of them, making it really super easy to install just what you need without excess. Now, consumables might not be the sexiest thing of items to be adding to this list, but they can be a pain to get without going to multiple stores, and fortunately, Amazon is really competitive on pricing on these items. Things like zip ties, wire mounts, adhesives like CA glue, solder, and disposable syringes for your CA glue and liquid soldering flux are all easily found and competitively priced. Given the variety and weird single application tools we as model railroaders find ourselves needing, it should come as no surprise that hand tools are on this list. For model railroaders in particular, having 15 different sprue cutters to choose from can actually be a good thing, and being able to find that RJ45 crimping toolkit with cable tester you need for your DCC cable bus is going to be next to impossible to find at your local Home Depot. You're also not going to find micro drill bits at the Orange store, but Amazon has a wide variety and at reasonable prices. Given that today's model railroads are electronics heavy, it may not come as a surprise to you that I recommend at least looking for items you need on Amazon. Now, there are many other sources of electronic items we use a lot on model railroads, like toggle switches and relays, but that usually comes at a price. Surplus stores like Orlando, Florida's Skycraft Surplus, Chicago, Illinois' American Science and Surplus, and Mentor, Ohio's Electronic Surplus can be fantastic resources for hard to find items. But for more generic items like toggle switches and relays, and even small, simplistic computer boards, you're really better off finding them on Amazon, both because they're more affordable, even if they are sold in larger quantities, but also because they have product reviews. Okay, so we've covered 6 things you should definitely buy on Amazon, but what about those items you should avoid, like time traveling back to 2020? Now, before we get started with that list, do me and yourself a favor and subscribe and leave a comment down below if you haven't already, as that's how you enter my drawing for Amazon gift cards and tools. Topping my list of things you should never buy on Amazon is track and trains. No matter what scale you model, track and trains seems to be priced between 20 and 100% more than retailers like Model Train Stuff, Yankee Dabbler, or even the usually overpriced Walthers. Number 2 on my list of stuff you should never buy on Amazon is DCC equipment. Now, to be fair, base systems like Digitrax's Evolution Express isn't crazy far off when you account for the free Prime shipping, but it's the little items where Amazon really hoses you. In my research, I found some items to be 25% or more expensive than competitors. And the worst part is you don't get the customer service if something is missing or you can't figure something out. In my opinion, especially with DCC systems, just buy from reputable model railroad shops, as even if they don't save you money, the institutional knowledge they have to help you in the event you need it is something that's priceless. Coming in at number 3 on the things you should never buy on Amazon is benchwork. So, okay, there isn't a whole lot of benchwork on Amazon, but I have to plug my product somewhere, right? So, with over 250 different modular components to choose from, some of which you can only get through modelrailroadbenchwork.com, and typically free customization. Seriously, send me an email. I'll draw the layout in Benchwork for you. When you need MRB, it really can be your one-stop shop for all your benchwork needs. If you've liked today's video or at least found it useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow, and that's the whole point of this. I want to help you guys build better model railroads. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.